But she caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. Saw me banging on the sofa. It wasn't me. I even had her in the shower. It wasn't me.
Yo, everybody, this is Shaggy, Mr. Lover, Bombastic, Romantic. Yeah, and you're tuned to Brut. It's crazy when it comes to Wasn't Me, is I was in the process of writing the Hot Shot album. And I had watched a comedy special from Eddie Murphy called Raw. And in the comedy special, there's a skit that he says he got caught, and the woman comes in and he says, "Wasn't me." And she's like, "But I saw you on the counter. Wasn't me, but I got you on camera. It wasn't me." You know what I mean? And he was saying, oh, she still took him back, you know, and that's how dudes are. And it was a whole skit. It was really funny. So I said, man, that's so funny. That's a song in a sense, because it is so relatable. And whenever I write songs, I try to write them where they're relatable to general people's lives, you know. And the thing about It Wasn't Me is either you're banging, you know, somebody banging, or you wish you're banging. You know what I mean? It is very relatable to people's lives. And so I sat with in my little townhouse here in Kingston with a friend of mine by the name of Rick Rock. And we just started to come up with the melody. And then the lyrics of Honey came in and she caught me red-handed creeping with the girl next door. And we wrote the song. We had a lot of laughs because we were coming up with these, she caught me on the counter. You know, we were saying like, yeah, she was spying in a tree. We were doing all these other scenarios. You know, and of course, we settled down, caught me on the counter, saw me banging on the sofa, even had her in the shower, you know what I mean? We ended up going there, but there were all these, we were thinking so outside the box of crazy. We said, oh yeah, had me have her swinging from the chandelier. It was all kind of crazy stuff. And it became just this, you know, we were like, okay, guys, you know, we really need to make this to where it's airplay. So we need to write adult content without being explicit. And we just thought it was, I thought it was really funny. I thought it was such a hit that when I brought it into my record company, they couldn't understand it. And so it's so much to a point that my manager didn't want it to go on the album. He thought it was total rubbish. You got to remember, at that time, we were in Britney Spears and NSYNC mode. So there was nothing that sounded like it. And that's why the record company was like, what the fuck are you bringing to me? This isn't, what is this? How are we going to market this? It doesn't fit with what's going on right now. Okay, we're not going to spend a lot of money on this guy. A lot of people thought it was a cheating song, but really, if you listen to it down the end, that's it. You know, on that bridge section, I'm going to tell her that I'm sorry for the things that I've done. You might think that you're a player, but you're completely lost. Was really what it's about. You know, it's me telling a story, and at the end, the guy is saying, hey, that's total bollocks that you're talking. I'm going to go and apologize to my girl, you know what I mean? And she's not going to take this bullshit that you're selling. And that's the story of it. But the thing is, nobody really listened to the record down to the end. It was such a club smash that everybody just partied to it, you know what I mean? And all the guys love it because he's like, hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, you know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it was when this record was at its peak, we were getting a little bit of a backlash from some women's rights group about it, and you know how it's a cheating song and this song is blah 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 blah. But then when we looked at the sales of it, you know, and got the data on the record, it was predominantly women that were downloading this record. It was the people who were buying it was mainly women that were buying it. I was like, oh my God, you know, and so. It's either two things it's telling you, that either women are just way better players than men, you know, or it's just a myth, you know. So it's just one other thing, but it is really an anti-cheating song. Just such an infectious melody, you know. That's what I really loved about it. I always made music selfishly. I make music so that I like it, and if I like it, then I'm good. Do you get what I'm saying? So I never really paid attention to anybody else or what people say. They always write things. You know, I've been a one-hit wonder my whole career. You know, somebody said to me this, Shaggy, you're the most consistent one-hit wonder I know. You know, because I'm criticized because I started to do dancehall, but I didn't do dancehall in its authentic stage. I always did kind of a hybrid style of dancehall. And so the purists would always, you know, the dancehall and reggae purists would always criticize me. You know, but I don't pay any attention to it. I just kept doing music that was unique because I just said to myself, well, they criticized Bob Marley too and said, you know, his music was rubbish, and yet still it became the blueprint of what reggae and dancehall, of what reggae music is today. That it really changed my life, and it brought me to a mainstream and brought me on all these other platforms. So though I had Mr. Bombastic and Oh Carolina and these records that were big, it wasn't me really was a record that brought me to a household name on a global scale.